Hello everyone, it is an absolute pleasure to be here today. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives, out of your own journeys, to be part of this moment. Whether you're sitting in the front row or watching from 1,000 miles away, your presence here means something not just to me, but I believe to the future of leadership as we know it. Because today I want to talk about something that goes to the very heart of what it means to lead, not manage, not command, not direct, but to lead. And that something is purpose. Not strategy, not prestige, not power, purpose. Let's dive into this idea of purpose over prestige, not as a slogan, not as a cliche, but as a fundamental shift in how we think about leadership, how we build organizations, and how we create impact that lasts far beyond our own lifetime. The great misunderstanding of leadership. Let me start with a simple truth that too many people get wrong. Leadership is not a rank. Leadership is not a title. Just because someone has manager in their job title doesn't make them a leader. Just because someone has corner office access, their name on the company's letterhead, or thousands of social media followers, none of that means they are leading anyone. And yet this is the lie we've been sold for decades. That leadership is about climbing the ladder, about being in charge, about receiving accolades. That success is the destination, and that once you get there, you've made it. But here's the hard truth. Prestige is not leadership. Prestige is ego's currency. Let that sink in. What real leadership looks like. Imagine this instead. Imagine a leader who walks into the office every morning not thinking, what can I achieve today, but instead thinking, whom can I serve today? Imagine a leader whose decisions aren't dictated by the fear of losing status, but by the opportunity to add value, even if nobody sees it, even if they don't get the credit. That's purpose-driven leadership. That is someone who understands that the role of a leader is not to be in the spotlight, but to shine the light on others, to see people, to lift them up, to create a space where they can become more than they believed possible. The power of purpose. So what is purpose really? Purpose is that deep inner sense of meaning. It's the reason you get up in the morning. It's the thing that tugs at your soul and says, this matters. It's not a KPI, it's not a quarterly report, it's not even profitability. Purpose is bigger, it transcends the bottom line, it's about why you do what you do. When leaders are clear on their purpose, when they can articulate it, embody it, and communicate it, they inspire trust. Because people can sense when you're real. They can smell authenticity a mile away, and they can sniff out pretense even faster. Purpose-driven leadership builds credibility, and credibility builds influence. The ripple effect of purpose. Think about a leader you deeply admire, not because of their title or their net worth, but because of the way they lead. Maybe it's someone you've worked with. Maybe it's someone you've read about. Chances are they weren't obsessed with prestige. They were grounded in purpose. Purpose-driven leaders create cultures where people feel safe, where innovation isn't punished but encouraged, where mistakes aren't fatal, they're fertile, the ground from which growth emerges. When you lead with purpose, it's not just about your own success, it's about creating a ripple effect. One act of courage inspires another. One decision made with integrity gives others permission to do the same. You change the room when you walk into it, not because of your status, but because of your clarity, because people know you're here for something bigger than yourself. Prestige is a trap. Let's talk about prestige for a minute. Because prestige can feel really good, recognition feels, awards feel good. Who doesn't like being told they're great? But prestige is dangerous when it becomes the goal, because prestige is a moving target. It's based on comparison. You climb one ladder only to realize someone else is higher. You win one award only to feel like you need 5 more. Prestige is never satisfied. It always wants more. It keeps you in a loop of scarcity and fear, because someone else might take your place. But purpose is different. Purpose is infinite. Purpose doesn't compare. Purpose doesn't compete. Purpose collaborates. It elevates everyone around it. It's the opposite of scarcity, because when you lead with purpose, you create abundance. Real-life examples of purpose-driven leadership. Let's look at some real-world examples. Take Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison and came out not seeking revenge, but reconciliation. That's purpose over prestige. That's a man who chose healing over ego. Or take someone like Schultz of Starbucks. When he returned as CEO, he didn't just focus on profit. He refocused the company around the idea of being a third place, a community between home and work. He brought in purpose, and it turned the company around. Or look at Greta Thunberg. A teenager who decided to skip school on Fridays and protest for climate change. No title, no authority, no prestige. Just raw, relentless purpose. And she moved the world. The common thread, each of them chose impact over image. Purpose over prestige. What does this mean for you? Now let's bring it home. Let's talk about, you don't have to be a CEO or a revolutionary or a world leader to lead with purpose. You can be a team lead, a teacher, a freelancer, a parent, a student, anyone. The question is, what are you leading toward? What is the mission that matters more than your comfort? What are the values you refuse to compromise on? Who are the people you are committed to lifting up, even if you never get credit for it? Ask yourself those questions every day and watch how your leadership transforms. Creating a culture of purpose. If you're already in a leadership position, ask yourself, what kind of culture are you building? A culture of prestige rewards performance at all costs. It fosters competition over collaboration. It says, what have you done for me lately? But a culture of purpose, that's different. It says, we're in this together. It rewards contribution, not just output. It nurtures relationships, not just results. And it doesn't just build better businesses, it builds better human beings. That's what we need more of, is in a world addicted to optics, to impressions, to clicks and clout and curated perfection. We desperately need leaders who are grounded, leaders who are clear, leaders who know who they are and what they stand for. The legacy of purpose. Here's the thing about prestige. It fades. Titles get forgotten. Offices get empty. Awards collect dust. But purpose echoes. Purpose shapes lives. It changes people. It creates movements. It inspires generations. And if you're lucky, if you commit to this way of leading, someday someone will say about you, because of them, I didn't give up. Because of them, I found my own purpose. That's the legacy that matters. So my friends, let's choose purpose. Let's reject the shallow pull of prestige and dig into something deeper, something more enduring. Let's be the kind of leaders the world so desperately needs right now. Not flashy, not famous, but faithful to a cause that matters. Because when we lead with purpose, we don't just change our teams. We don't just change our companies. We change the world. Thank you so much for being here. Go out there and lead on purpose.